Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Plan With Me. The week that I'm going to be planning is going to be the week of March 13th through the 19th. So if you've watched any of my previous Plan With Me videos, you will notice that my background is a little different this time. So I mentioned last video when I planned for the previous week. If you haven't watched it, go back and check it out on YouTube. I mentioned that, you know, we're getting ready to move in the next couple of months. We're putting our house up for sale. And because of that, we went ahead and we decluttered a bunch of stuff out of our house. We rearranged things. So now my office is set up in the front room. So the front room is now split between like a gym. We have a couple of equipment here. We used to have more, but we got rid of some, like I mentioned, decluttering, but we still have a treadmill and a bike where, you know, I can put the laptop to work. So we have that in here, and then now I put my office here. So since I have my office here now, and this is where I've been working all day, I figured that I should start transitioning to making my Plan With Me videos here. Previously I'd been doing them in the island in our kitchen. Our island in our kitchen is a really good size. I love it. It's my favorite. I love sitting there on the stool, but like I said, since we rearranged everything and I have my desk functioning now, I figured I might as well use it. So from now on, you will be seeing me here and my desk. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like go in and kind of just get started. So this was last week, so let me just go ahead and switch to the correct week. Okay, so as far as kits goes, I mentioned that, you know, I haven't really designed kits lately, and I haven't purchased kits for a while. So because of that, I'm kind of just fumbling around and seeing, you know, what I can use from things I already have, because I don't feel like stressing out to find kits for these weeks without enough time. I'm working on that for later on in the future, but for right now, I'm just using what I have. So that being said, what I'm going to be using this week is a couple of things. So I have, usually I use these sampler kits from Planner Kate, so I'll be using the scripts from those. Then I have some items from Sarah Marie Mystery Kits. So this was for August, and actually I think this was from a vertical, the compact vertical. That's what this kit is from. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and use it anyways because I think that it's cute and I think I can make it work somehow. I'm going to try. So I'm gonna be using that. Here is the freebie for it. I'm gonna use this. This is another freebie. I think this was from a different Sarah Marie kit, mystery kit. I wanna say it's from a mystery kit, but I have this one as well, so I'm going to use that. And then from my shop, I had a few little icons that I had. I hadn't used them all, I'd only used one, so I'm going to use from here as well. So it's going to be a combination of things. Oh, and last I also pulled from Planner Kate. This is from kit 446. Just some script and some icons, just in case I need them. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in as well. I don't know if I'm going to use everything in all of these sticker kits, but I pulled them out because, you know, I want to be prepared and I don't want to be digging for stuff. And I think everything I need and then some can be found in these. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So go ahead and start with washi strips. So last week I posted my first video in the longest time, and I think it went okay. No, that's not going to work. I think it went okay. Like I mentioned, my camera was not working. So because of that, I had to use my phone camera, and that wasn't the best thing, but somehow it worked and it was okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that in the future though that I always have my camera charged. And so I did. I left it charging, and so now I can use it, which is very, very fortunate because I was just struggling with my phone last time. I mentioned last week there was not a lot going on in cheer last week because of high school tryouts, and that the same applies for this week. There's not much going on for cheer, but the same doesn't apply for tryouts. There's not tryouts this year, but or this week, but it is spring break, so there's no practice. Sorry, so I'm putting these washi strips, but since it was for a compact vertical, it's a little bit short from here, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'm thinking of probably just, this is really gonna be just making it work. I know it's not gonna be like the best thing in the world, but I think that it'll look cute. I don't really wanna waste this kit because I'm not using compact vertical anymore. So I don't wanna waste this kit. Or, I mean, I could always save it in case there's a day that I use a compact vertical again, which I wouldn't doubt because I sometimes like to jump planners, even though I always end up with the same one. I always end up back to hourly, but just because of that, I don't want to waste the kit, and I really wanted to use it because I think it's real springy, you know, with all the rainbows and all that. So I'm just trying to make it work. So I'm losing my train of thought a little bit just because I'm like really focusing like, okay, what am I gonna do? Let's make this work. I probably should have planned it out a little bit better before I started recording, but I knew what I wanted to use. It's just figuring it out. And honestly, you don't really know, like when you're pulling odds and ends, you don't really know, or at least I really don't have a full game plan out. I kind of just start going with how it looks and what I'm putting on there. And it usually turns out okay. I've had a few layouts that I was like, okay, that looks a little funky, but overall they come out fine. So see, this is what I ended up doing. Not perfect, but I ended up just using the strips and adding some of these to kind of cover and make it look full and complete. And then I think to tie in this with this side, I'll use some of it for here just to kind of make it flow a little bit better since it is so random. See, I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to make it work. I didn't want to deal with stressing out about finding a kit and all that. And I really liked this one, so I wanted to use it. So this is how that's happening. What was I talking about before I started focusing so hard on just being able to put a washi strip down? Yeah, so this week there's not much going on with cheer. It's spring break. So I think we're going to see if we can do any privates with the girls. I know I already messaged the coach that they like to do privates with, but she will not be in town this week until possibly the end of the week, but she said she'll let me know. So I'm gonna be waiting for that. And then we are traveling at the end of the week though, and go into that a little bit later. And while we're out, we will be going to Colorado, where we will be moving in a couple months. So while we're out there, we are planning on checking out a couple of gyms. But for that, I don't really have much to put down. We're gonna do some privates at the gyms. And then I think one of them might have some classes that the girls can attend. And we really plan on doing that. I don't have all the details yet, so I'm not gonna be able to add that. That'll just kind of come as I start getting responses from coaches. And considering that, you know, we're still in competition season and people are getting ready for end of year events, like I'm not stressing out too much about them answering. I know they're busy. And when they do, then I'll just, you know, figure it out then and add that into my planner. So the other thing I had to put is down the dates. So far I think this is coming out kind of cute. For being a kit that's not an hourly kit at all, I think this is coming out okay. There you go. Just put down the little dates. 8. Man, I'm like losing it today. Today I'm like really having trouble just focusing. Like I said, there's been a lot going on with the house. You know, we've been repainting things, you know, touching up paint because we want it, you know, we obviously want our house to sell, and I want it to sell fairly quickly. I don't want it to sit in the market. I think our realtor was telling us the average is something like 15 to 60 days that a house is staying on the market right now. And I don't want to go to the 60 days, right? So I'm kind of hoping that we can sell it within the 15 days. So we've been doing a lot to the house to get it ready. And it's honestly looking great. My husband also, he spent all yesterday, and well, actually not just yesterday, he's been spending a lot of time, you know, with the backyard and getting rid of things and stuff. And it's already made such a big difference. And I'm like kind of excited because I think it looks great, and I think we're not gonna have any trouble selling the house. But I mean, I don't know, I'm not a realtor and I don't know how the market's doing or what people are looking right now and all that, but it's looking pretty good. He like cleared out the whole back, and he's been helping me paint because, you know, I started painting, and then when we have cheer practices and stuff, then I take off and he finishes painting. We actually also hired someone to come in and clean it. And so like we obviously cleaned our house, but we had someone come in and do like a deep cleaning. So they like scrubbed everything, and I don't think I've seen this house this clean in a while because we're always running around, we're always busy. So, you know, it's hard to keep up with some of the real detailed cleaning. But yeah, I think it's looking great, and I'm very excited. I think it's going to sell with no problem. Okay, so let's kind of walk through, see what I have so far. I kind of threw a lot of things down. So I threw the strips, it was too short, so I added these little pieces here, and then to tie it in, I added them on this side. Then I added, you know, the this week label here so that I can put stuff for this week right there. And then this big one, like I said, I think this kit was for compact vertical. So there was a section in there that was this big. That's what this sticker's for. But since I know we don't have a lot going on this weekend because it is spring break, I figured I might as well use it just to kind of bring out the layout. Let me go ahead and now put down just the check boxes for my list. As far as like things to do in the house going forward here, last week I put a bunch of like, you know, keeping up with tasks, and I'm kind of going to have to do that again. I don't think I'm really going to do that so much this week because since we are going to be out of town for half of the week, there's not really the need to put it for the whole week because we won't be here. And the good thing about going out of town is that if we're not here, you know, we're not here to make a mess. So that's gonna make that easier. Now, so I'm thinking about it, I think I am gonna probably put some of the household. I think there's some daily ones on here that are for like daily tasks for the house. I think I'm gonna put those on the days that we are here, just because I don't really have use for these daily ones otherwise. So I think I'm gonna put them on there and then just make sure that we do these little things before we leave. I know that it's not gonna be constant, like we're not going to be so, like we're not going to have so much to clean because, you know, our house is already clean and we're going to be gone, but there's certain things that we have to remember to do daily, so I'm going to use these for those. So this is from, I didn't mention this at the beginning because originally I didn't plan on using it, but the more I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, no, I think I do. This is from the Happy Planner. It's oh, I have a sticker here, the household booklet, and so they do have these daily chore stickers that I'm just incorporating to just make sure that daily we're going through all this stuff. And like we usually always, so there's some things in here that we don't typically do daily, like laundry. I am super bad at just letting laundry pile up for a few days. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it'll be like a week and we don't do laundry. We have so much clothes, all of us, so I mean we can get away with that. But like I said, since we're selling the house and people are going to be coming to look at the house, we don't want to fall into that trap, because then when people come and look at the house, they don't want to see loads of laundry just sitting there. So a bunch of this stuff, like, you know, laundry and taking out trash, these are things that typically I probably wouldn't do every day. I'm going to be honest, I probably wouldn't declutter every day or do laundry every day. Or deep clean a space every day. We kind of leave a lot of our like cleaning stuff to the weekends or when we're off. But like I said, considering the circumstances that we're trying to sell the house and people are going to be coming in constantly, it just makes sense to do those daily, just so the house is, you know, will sell better. And so I'm gonna add that there. Okay, so let me go ahead and just start putting stuff in. So the first thing I'm gonna put is no school. Like I mentioned, it's spring break and there's no school, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a note for that. So I really like this strip, and like I said, they're longer because it was for a different kit, but I'm still gonna try and make it work because I like it. So put that one there, and then I pulled out, this was the one that I pulled out for the no school sticker, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that there. And then since there's no school all week, I'm gonna go ahead and just draw a line across so that it shows all week that there's no school. think I'm gonna put it right over this line. And I don't know if you've noticed, I use these like, these, what are they called? Clip-ins? Is that what you call them? Clip-ins? I don't remember. Or inserts. I don't remember what they're called. I use these a lot for a lot of things. So I use it obviously to mark my space in my planner. I use it to cut stickers. I use it as a ruler. This is honestly one of my favorite items to purchase from Erin Condren, just different ones. And rarely do I usually write on them. Sometimes I do, but then I forget to erase them, so it's kind of useless when I do that. But I use them for so many other things. Like I said, as a ruler or to cut washi strips. So that's how that looks so far with no school. The next thing I'm gonna put is our trip to Colorado. So we should be leaving, we plan on leaving Wednesday night. So my husband does work Wednesday and I work Wednesday as well, but we want to leave when he's out, just so that we can make a time. Me and him, like, we're pretty good at taking turns. Let me see what color we'll go. I have a lot of pink, so maybe just bring in some blue. We're pretty good at taking turns when it comes to driving, and so we usually will drive like overnight or stuff if we want to make a good time. And so that's what we're gonna do this time. We're gonna drive overnight, and then that way it's easier with the kids too, because I mean, 4 kids in a car, sometimes they get restless, especially when we're driving the kinds of distances that we have to drive. So we're gonna drive overnight, and then that way we get there and we have plenty of time Thursday and Friday to do things, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to do things. We don't wanna be, you know, driving most of the day Thursday and then, you know, we didn't get to do as much. So just noting our trip to Colorado there. Or maybe I'll actually write Colorado on top just because I think it'll look cute. Okay. All right, so what am I looking like right now? Okay, so I think this is actually coming out pretty cute, and considering that this kit was not an hourly kit, I think it's working. And I think that's a good thing with a lot of ceremony stickers. Like, I've noticed that whenever I get them, I don't really throw away like the leftovers that I have from kits or anything. Same thing with planner cake, because I know I can always use them for something else, and I tend to do that. So I'm kind of excited that I was able to use this one because it's just super cute. Now for mine, I'm going to use the payday sticker. I like to put our payday up there, especially this payday. So on this payday, is this the one? Actually, I messed up the dates. I'm so sorry. So it's not the week of the 6th. I was looking at the wrong portion of the calendar. That's why I was thrown off, because I'm like, oh, especially this week, because that's the week that I'm getting, I got a raise this year. It's pretty standard for a company to give us a raise every year. The percentage just obviously is dependent on your performance and how your managers rate you and how your peers rate you and all that. So I did get a raise this year, and then we get our bonus, and that usually comes in, and that's why I was like, oh, especially this, because the 10th, that's when all of that kicks in. But that's not true, because this is not the 10th. So actually the week before, so this current week is when the bonus will kick in. This week, that's not happening, but it's good to know the payday, because this week, does my husband get paid this week? Gosh, I'm all torn. No, he doesn't get paid this week. He's getting this week. He doesn't get paid the week that I'm planning for. He's getting paid this current week that I'm filming on. Oh geez, it always gets so confusing when you're doing, when you're on one week and then you're like still reaching the end of it. You haven't finished that week, but you start planning for the next week. I'm doing that because I want this like video to actually be available to you guys for the week, at least the beginning of the week. I think I'm gonna start posting on Sundays. That way you can watch that week's video before. So I wanted to make sure that I have it filmed in time. There you go, right dates. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I put my payday on there. Now the next thing that I want to do is, so we're driving. we'll be in Colorado. We don't have anything major planned for Colorado. Like I mentioned, they'll probably do some classes and privates within the weekend, so we'll add that in there. And then I do know that Colorado has, I think, well, there's an IKEA out there, and I love IKEA, so we will be going to IKEA. I just don't know which day either. It just depends on how everything falls as far as checking out houses, checking out neighborhoods, and checking out gyms. So I'm not gonna put any of that right now. I might put it later when I kind of have more details, but for now I'm not gonna include that. I am going to, I just saw that they have these on here, so I'm going to go ahead and add them. The habit trackers, I guess it'd be good if I actually like say what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna put the habit trackers, and I don't think I have enough stickers for all of them, what I wanna add on there. But, so there's different goals that I have right now. And so one of them is going to be working out. And I'll put this in there just to cover the March. So working out, making sure that I work out every day. And so working out, I'm not trying to do anything major. I'm trying to like ease my way into it. I had surgery a few weeks back, so I'm barely getting cleared to resume activity. So I wanna start, you know, slowly with walking, getting my steps in and all that. So I just wanna make sure that I'm at least walking. So for a workout, that's gonna count as walking. I want to make sure that I'm drinking water. And I've been really bad at drinking water lately. I just haven't been feeling too good, so I haven't drank water. So I wanna make sure that I'm tracking that a lot more closely. And then the last thing on there is going to be, how do I wanna put this? So it's gonna be it has to do with what I'm eating daily, but the main thing that I'm focusing right now, and talking with my doctor, is making sure that I have enough protein. And so I have a protein goal that I have to meet daily. So I wanna make sure that I'm hitting my protein goal every day. And so I wanna add that and track that just to kind of see how I'm doing. Typically lately I've been doing good with the protein, but there have been a few days where I'm not hitting the protein amount that my doctor told me. So I wanna make sure that I'm focusing on that as well. Let me see, is there anything else major that I wanna put on here? Spend errands to clean. And so last week, if you watched my video, it's just because I saw that on the sticker. I said that it was a no spend, that we're focusing on not doing extra spending because of the changes that are gonna be coming with us moving. That's still true. We're still trying not to spend. The only thing that I will say as far as us taking a trip, and this trip wasn't really planned, and at the time of me filming my last video, it was not planned. The reason we are planning it though is because with my relocation package, I have a house finding trip. So it's a trip for us to go out there and, you know, find a house or, and, you know, find our neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. With cheer and with everything going on in my husband's work schedule, we typically don't have a lot of time to take off to go do that trip. And so since, you know, with spring break, I don't have too much going on. He can work, since there's no practices, he can work a little bit extra the week before to make up all his hours that he needs. And the kids have no school, no cheer requirements. So this was the best time for us to actually go to check out Colorado before we all have to move out there. And so we're fronting the cost for it because that's the way it works. We have to pay for the trip out there, but then I'm able to submit my receipts and get reimbursement for the trip, because since it is our home finding trip. And so that's what we're gonna be doing. So that's the only reason that we're going. And as far as like doing, you know, like fun things or spring break things, we don't have a lot of that planned. A lot of it is really gonna be driving around to neighborhoods, checking out, you know, houses that we see that are on the market right now, neighborhoods, schools. There's a STEM academy out there that my daughter was accepted to, but we're able to walk in and tour it. So we're gonna try and tour the STEM academy and the gyms, like I said. So a lot of that is gonna be happening. I think at some point we might do something fun. I just don't know, and that would be, you know, out of our pocket cost, but we're just not sure what we're doing yet. So I'm not really worried about marking that. But I mean, considering the fact that we're going out of state, like the girls will be excited with that alone, especially since they know that we're moving to Colorado. And then we can just kind of see what happens from there. Another thing that I want to do this week, and I know it sounds odd, but like while we're driving, I want to be designing stickers for my shop. So I haven't been designing in a while. I haven't been doing YouTube. I haven't designed. I haven't done a lot of things just with everything that had been going on in our lives. But I will say that in my Etsy shop, I think I've officially made 30 sales, which I'm so excited about. I can't even believe that. I know it's nothing crazy, and I know that I started my shop a while ago, but considering the fact that I haven't been, creating new kits, and I haven't been advertising as much and all that, I'm just still like really excited that I even hit those 30 shops, and I've talked to those people and told them how grateful I am and stuff, especially because, this is what I would like to do. In my life, this is like my hobby, my favorite thing. I love designing, I love cutting stickers, I love planning, and so that means a lot to me. So I'm really, now that things are stabilizing and our house is already in the market, we fixed all the issues with the house, we've gotten just about everything we need to do in the house done. Now that all that's done and I'm resuming with YouTube and all that, I do want to work on my sticker kits again and design new sticker kits. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the same layout or if I'm going to change the layouts. I haven't fully decided all that yet, but I do know that I want to start working on them. So I'm going to go ahead and put design for Etsy. So I'm going to put design for Etsy on there because especially with the drive, it's a several hour drive. I want to make sure that like on the drive I can be sitting there and I can be working on designing kits, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. Last thing is that I'm already okay, so filming will have to take place also earlier, and so I'm probably gonna have to film on Wednesday before we leave, because that way I can have it up by Sunday, and we're gonna be driving back Sunday, so there's no way that I can film on Sunday. So I'm gonna put that as well. I'm gonna put a sticker here, and this is not time sensitive, like none of these things I'm doing an exact time because I'm also working, so just depending on when I take a lunch break to work or something, then that's when I'll film. I'm gonna go ahead and put my YouTube sticker there from my kit, and I'm gonna put film plan. Oh wow, I put an H. Plan with me. Well, that came out super ugly, but anyways, that's what I'm gonna be doing there. Is there anything else? I think that's kind of all that I have for this week. And I say all, but I think I had to restart. I think my camera only films for so long and then it like times out and I have to hit record again, and I had to do that. So I think this video is actually longer than I expected it to be, and I apologize for that. It took me a while just to get started, just because trying to figure out how I wanted to use this compact vertical kit for my hourly planner. But this is my layout for next week. I'm actually really excited. I'm really happy with how it came out. I wanted to use the kit with the rainbows and all that, so I feel like I was able to get that in. And then there was this sticker that, went with designing for Etsy, even though I won't be at my desk, I'll be sitting in a car. But I'm able to get that in there, my cleaning stickers, our road trip. I think that's all I really have. We don't really have anything major, so like these days will kind of just be like working from home, and then the kids, they don't really have much going on. I think, yeah, because they're even closed for elite tumbles that week, so none of that's there. We are working on getting private scheduled and classes scheduled, but we don't have that yet. And once we do have it, then obviously I would add that into my planner. But to start and to kick off, this is my layout. I like how it came out. I really do. Like, you can hardly even tell, like, I mean, you can tell a little bit, but you can hardly tell that I just made a kit happen. But that's what I mean, if you guys never, like, don't have a kit one week and you have planner stickers the way I do, I'm pretty sure you can put a kit together just with a decent washi and just like stickers for the things that you need, highlighters, pens, you totally can make it work. But yeah, so thank you for tuning into this plan with me. I'm sorry I rambled a little bit. It took me a while to get started, but I was able to put down everything I need for the week, and I think it's ready to go. if you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you can get updates whenever I'm posting new videos, which I do plan to do a lot more often. I'm going to be doing my weekly plans with me, and then I'm adding budget in there. But we've been kind of revamping our budget a lot, like I mentioned in my previous video. If you hadn't checked it out, with our move to Colorado, there's going to be a bunch of changes happening in our family. So we're just trying to kind of find our way with that. Once we do, and once I actually have our full plan, then that's when I'll put the budget videos, which I think should happen soon. I have a lot of it written down. You know, I'm working in my budget planner right now. It's just trying to make sure that we know exactly what we're doing going forward. And then there's a few things that are pending. So I'll share that soon, probably within the next week or so. And then that'll actually also be like a recurring budget video that's going on. And then I'll also go through like the things that we're changing and the different I guess if you want to say techniques, but the different, I guess, techniques that we're using to kind of help us reach our financial goals. So that'll be coming up as well. But yeah, like I said, if you haven't already, don't forget hit subscribe. And then I will be designing new sticker kits. So you can go into my shop, PlanWithSoto, on Etsy, and see the kits that I currently have available. And then there'll be new kits coming soon that we'll probably cover for May and going forward. I want to make sure that those are consistent as well. When I finish designing my kits, I'll go ahead and show them to you guys here on YouTube. Another reason why you want to subscribe to see those, and then I'll discuss the schedule going forward on how I want to be releasing kits so that they're available throughout the year. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support, and until next time, bye guys.